Hello, hello! Hello, everybody. Welcome to Brisbane. Just put my glasses away. Can't see what I'm doing without them when I'm playing with the phone. Welcome to Wednesday afternoon. I'm Katie Gordon. I'm the founder of Dietless Living and the author of The Missing Link to Sustainable Weight Loss. Welcome to Brisbane. It's a bit cloudy out there today, but still a beautiful day. It's still actually quite warm out, so I have had the aircon on this morning because it's just a little bit refreshing. Welcome. Yay! Middle of the week. I don't know what that means. It used to mean something to me, but now it's just all the days are the same and they're all good. So I don't care about middle of the week, beginning of the week, end of the week. What about you? How are you going? What's been happening for you? And what are you going to be doing for Easter? Easter! It's going to be Good Friday in a couple of days. Like, this will be the strangest Easter. Maybe there really will be a resurrection. I don't know. We'll all be home for it. That'll be for sure, because there'll be no camping. There'll be no holiday makers. There'll be nothing. None of the usual things that we do at Easter time. So it'll be really nice to have that 4 days at home. I would actually like to know in the comments what you're doing for Easter, because it's all about chocolate for some people, and what is it, the hot cross bunnies and all of those extra little treats. It's like Christmas. We do make it about food, don't we? Our holidays, it's about a celebration of something, and we have a lot of food, which is nice. We do tend to overindulge. I did notice in Woolies a few weeks ago, actually, when the rationing first started, you know, where they just wanted you to buy 2 of anything. They had a sign up and it said, you know, there's restrictions on this, and this, 2 of this, 2 of this, 2 of this, but Easter products as much as you like. That's literally what it said, as much as you like. So buy the chocky. There's no shortage of chocolate. So today's talk will actually be a bit helpful if you're somebody who's feeling that the chocolate snacking will be a bit out of control, or maybe you really like the hot cross buns. I do like hot cross buns, but I remember an Irish man once said to me, "Oh, Katie, I'm not good on the Irish accent," and he said, "Katie, I see you don't mind a bit of hot cross bun with your butter." So I only have 1 or 2 a year because I like the butter that goes with it, which again is one of the things I'm here to help to talk to you about today, about the why we get stuck in this weight loss and weight gain cycle. You know, why we lose it and then put it back on, and we can lose it again, but why do we keep putting it back on? We know why we lose it, because we go on a diet, or we do something, we take action, and we do something and we lose it, and then weirdly enough we go, "Hey, you're back. I didn't see you come back," because sometimes it's really quick and really sneaky, and other times we know it's happening and we just feel quite powerless to stop it, and we just confused. I said in one of my other lives, you know, like, I just didn't know what causes it, which is the stupidest thing to say, because clearly eating causes it. But why the eating? Why the eating? So let's start with hands up. If you've ever had a craving for something that was so strong that there was just no denying it, that, you know, to say no to it. Sometimes it happens on the diet, and sometimes it just happens and you go, sure, let's have it. But it's so strong that, you know, to say no to it would be like holding back the ocean. Has that ever happened to you? Certainly happened to me a million and bazillion times. What about hands up if you've ever had an argument with yourself about whether or not you could eat something? No, don't have that chocolate bar. No, don't have that hot cross bun. No, don't have that. Don't eat the bunny's ears. Don't eat the bunny. And then you lost the argument. And what about, have you ever felt like an eating machine? This is one people don't really like to admit to, but it happens where the hand to mouth movement is so just like it's on a spring, and you can't stop yourself from putting the food in your mouth, whether it's with something that really is yummy, like maybe you're eating chips or it's sweet lollies or something. But sometimes we're at a buffet and we've got all these food, and sometimes this is when you know it's really something outside of your control, is when you're eating the food and you don't even really like it. Has that ever happened to you? And I remember sometimes it was almost like I'd step out of myself and go, wow, what the hell's going on there? What has got you so excited about the food? And that's the thing. Why? Why do we do it? Why? I don't know how many times I used to ask myself, why, Katie? Why can't you just behave around food? And I never knew the answer. But you know what the answer is? I'll tell you what it's all about. Because it's always like, what is it all about? Well, it's all about really everything that happens in your life. It's about how you generate your own stress. It's about how you keep that stress going. It's about why. It's about why you eat chocolate at 9 in the morning. It's about boredom. It's about stress. It's about anxiety. It's about loneliness. It's about missing connections. It's about depression. It's about sadness. It's about feeling afraid. It's about all of your unresolved emotions. It's about not asking to have your needs met. It's about not asking for things in total, period. It's about not having a purpose. It's about not having a vision. It's about not feeling fulfilled in some way in your life, in some area. You might be fulfilled in some and not in others. It's about poor sleep. We have terrible sleep because of all the foods that we eat, you know, all the sugars, the ups and downs, the alcohol that we have at night. It's all about that poor sleep. It's about the lethargy that we feel. It's about the hormones that we have, men and women, the hormonal surges and impulses, and it's about the imbalances that we have in our body from where we live, how we live, all the things that are impacting our body, all kinds of things that are perfumes and makeup and all sorts of things that we don't know are upsetting to our body that cause imbalances. It's about all those things causing aggravation in our body. It's about tight-fitting clothes. It's about, pinching bras, uncomfortable feet, wearing high-heel shoes all day. It's about all those pent-up emotions, you know, when you're having... We're very sociable people. We don't generally allow our emotions out for all to be, that's not the way we're raised. So we lock it all away. It's about that wine that we have every night, or that beer, it's about that packet of bickies that we eat quietly or sneakily in the car. It's about eating while we grocery shop. Oh my God, I used to always eat while I grocery shopped and then just run empty packets through the checkout. It's about why we overeat. It's about why we go to the fridge 50 times a day, even if you've got food in there, and you look in there and you go, and sometimes we've got nothing in there because I don't buy anything, there's nothing there. So if I go to the fridge, which still occasionally happens, but I know to check in, but it's why do we do it? Why are you up? Why are you there? Why are you looking in there? Kids do it, don't they? What's to eat? Your mum used to say, nothing. It's the same stuff that was in there 5 minutes ago when you went to the fridge. It's about why you can't walk past a cake shop, you know, and the cakes are in there calling you, come, come, and why you can't say no, why you even hear them. It's about why we start fights. It's about why we want to listen to sad songs and make ourselves cry, or why we want to listen to or watch sad movies. It's about why we want to watch things that frighten us. We watch movies that scare the pants off us. Why do we want to do that? It's about all our terrible, terrible coping strategies. It's about why we graze all day. I used to call myself a grazer, as that was my style of person. I like to graze. I don't really like to have a meal. I like to graze all day. Pickety pick, pick, pick. That's not true. I was never hungry. I just grazed all day. Emotionally eating and outsourcing all day. And why do you graze all night? Some people, I was one of them, used to come home and I couldn't wait to get my 5 minutes on the couch when all the chores were done and sit down, and that's when I would really graze, you know. That's when I'd want to have all the snacks and the drink and the wine and the whatever. Why do we want to do all of that stuff? Because we just haven't learned how not to. It's because it's how we think, feel and react to life. It's about waiting to be happy. It's about all the learned behaviors we've ever had in our whole entire life that are there connected to how we deal with our thoughts, feelings and emotions. And that's why diets can't ever possibly work, because diets are focused on the food. And it's not about the food, it's about why you eat what you eat, not what you eat. So unless we learn how to deal with our emotions and our thoughts and our reactions, we're doomed to repeat those cycles in life for life. And it's almost always crisis that gets us. If you've ever done the yo-yo diet, if you've lost weight and then put on weight and then lost weight, the times that you've lost weight has been the times when you've felt really quite powerful. You've gotten to a point, you've taken action, you've gone, yes, this is my moment, I'm doing it. You've hit the pain point, you've just hit that moment and you've said, I'm off, I'm going to do it. And you have. But if there's been a crisis in the middle somewhere, or happened soon after, where you've just said enough is enough, I'm not going to wait, it depends how long it's going to last, because it's that crisis time, whether there's small crisis or large crisis, it's sometimes compounding stresses that sort of tip us over, you know. You've got that tipping point where things just go to pot. And that's when it goes back up. And I remember hearing Les Brown, you know Les Brown, he's an awesome speaker. He was talking about one of his friends who said, you know, you're either in a crisis, just come out of a crisis, or just about to go into a crisis. That's life, right? They're the 3 stages of life. In a crisis, just come out of one, or just about to go into one. And it's kind of true. I mean, sometimes there's big gaps in between, of course, but that's what happens, right? So if we haven't improved and worked out all these learned behaviors that we've got, that we've either been keeping at bay and then they all go out the window. We've been talking about this for all the the live broadcastings that I've been doing for the last couple of weeks. So it's actually, if we don't understand that, if we haven't improved our coping skills, then up we go again, the scales climb. You must learn how to lead yourself through a crisis, because it's the ability to personally lead yourself. You can't look to others. We have to be able to lead ourselves, because it's you who's right there in the moment. It's you who's in the car with the secret packet of biscuits, or you in the car with the Danish from the bakery. It's you who's got your hand in your wallet about to pay for something. It's you who has to have that ability, that absolute ability to lead yourself through your own behaviors, through your feelings, through your thoughts, and through your actions, what you're doing, to be able to make that change for yourself, to be able to break through those old limiting behaviors, and to be able to break free from the cycle. So what I wanted to talk to you today was about the six things, I can't count, the seven things that you can do to get yourself moving forward, and start to break free from this, because dieting's not working. Dieting will never work, because you'll just always be stuck in that cycle. So number one, happy days is number one. You need a plan. We have to have a plan, and sometimes in that plan, it does help to have your vision. We've talked a lot about vision, but we haven't talked a lot about the plan. So the plan is what you're going to do. Diets are kind of a plan, but they're a very, very limited plan. They don't cover all the aspects. They just tell you what to eat and when to eat it. They don't even come to your house and do a lot of the meal planning and the cooking and the cleaning and all of that stuff. A plan. Why do we need a plan? Because when we are wanting to make a change, everything has to change. Everything changes, either directly and immediately, or over time and sort of to the peripheral, the ripple effect that everyone talks about. So having a plan, and a plan is basically to map it out. Just do a big brain dump on what's got to change, how it's got to change. Well, don't even worry about the how, actually, just what's got to change, who that change is going to affect, because whoever's in your life is going to be affected, especially if you're cooking meals for other people or they're cooking meals for you. Who else is affected? Everybody that we interact with, because I've written about this in other blogs. I won't go into it much now, but there is always going to be resistance to the change in you, because a lot of people have who they are invested in you being who you are. So when you start to change, that makes them feel uncomfortable, and suddenly they will often come in and do things to upset the apple cart. So we have to think about who's invested in, or maybe unhappy or impacted by your change. Hard to know, to be honest, but you can tell who's in immediately. You have to think about the behaviors that you've got. Are you a nighttime grazer? Are you a daytime grazer? You've just got to write these things down, because it's the awareness of what's happening that will allow you to then find the strategies to make that change. But without knowing all these things that you have to change, knowing is that, okay, so I have a wine at night, I do eat chocolate at 9 in the morning, I can't walk past that cake shop, I can't walk past the chocky aisle at the supermarket, or when I go grocery shopping, you're like me and you used to run an empty packet through the checkout. Work out where all the things are that has to change, and put them all in a plan. Just do a big brain dump. Don't try and make it orderly or structured. Just do a big brain dump. And then what you do is you just kind of sift them all into sort of categories or sections. These things look like that, and try and just work out a mud map. Good old mud maps. And then you just do it in phases. Don't try and do everything at once. Your brain will explode. Just do it in phases, and just start it. Like I've talked about with the big vision, you've just got to have your overarching idea of what it's going to look like. And instead of the goals you're going to achieve, as in the house or the car, it's the goals you're going to achieve. Which thing am I going to change first? And which thing needs to change first? Like, if I change that, will that help change these other things? And what are the steps to go to it? So very similar to what we've talked about with planning for a vision, make your plan for change. So number 2 is increase knowledge, fill the gaps. We've talked about filling the knowledge gaps in other videos, so if you're not across that, what that means is we have gaps. We don't know what's happening. Most people's gap is we don't understand what's happening in our body. We don't understand what's happening in our brain. We're not aware of our thoughts and what's generating them, and we're not aware of our behaviours. So knowledge gaps come down to what you don't know about yourself and your behaviours. Write that down. And also what you don't know about making change. Maybe you don't know how to make a plan, so maybe that's your first knowledge gap. Or maybe you know how to make a plan but you're not sure about some aspects of it. There's so many things that we don't know about how to get from where we are to where we want to be, and that's the thing that we need to be looking at. What is it I need to do to get from here to there? So if you're wanting to be a civil engineer, you go, I don't know how to be a civil engineer, and you would go to university. That's a big knowledge gap. As for health and change, creating change behavior, what don't you know about how to create those changes? Okay, I don't know how to intervene a craving. I don't know how to override negative self-talk. I don't know how to soothe myself without self-medicating or self-soothing with food and beverages. Any of those kinds of things, knowledge gaps, put those in and just write down what you need, where the gaps are that you have, and then we work out how to fill them up back in the plan. So the plan ends up with all the things, all the 7 steps tipped into it, but you've got to start with the plan. Think of, I always like the vision of snakes and ladders. Remember the game Snakes and Ladders? That's really a map. You go along and you can get a ladder up, or you catch a ladder down, I think, isn't it? So that's what a plan is. It's really like a snakes and ladders board, where you go, oh, if I'm moving through the squares and I get to here and there's a knowledge gap, I'm either going to go up or down. But you know there's a choice there. So number 3 is flexibility. Oh, we're going back to orange. Love orange. Flexibility. Can't spell today. That says flexibility. You want emotional, mental, physical, and behavioral. Flexibility in all those areas. So why do we need physical flexibility? Because when we're physically fit, when we're able to physically move our body, we can change our posture, excuse me, which helps us to change our mental and emotional states. Being able to change your mental and emotional state is a key to being able to change your behavioral state. Being able to change your behavioral state is the key to being able to change your physical state as well, because when we're putting a behavior of eating foods that are upsetting our body, that's causing a lot of tension in our body, causing a lot of mental upset, because it does. Our body starts to feel stuff and then we have thoughts about that. And being able to change any of that helps you change your emotional state, because you can be calmer, you can be happier, you can feel trust in yourself that you're in charge of your behaviors and what you're doing, and that gives you a sense of calm and confidence. Number 4, change. Excuse me, got a frog in my throat again. Change your focus. And have a little drink of water, excuse me. Change your focus. And to help change your focus, change your language. So one of the Dietless Living mottos is forget about dieting, focus on living and lose weight. Well, why is that? Change your focus. If in dieting, all you think about is food. That's it, nothing else. What you can eat, when you can eat it, how you're going to eat it, have you pre-prepared it, have you bought for it, how do you cook it? And because you're on a food rationings, all you're thinking about is food. Because you've had to pre-prepare it, your brain's already gone, ooh, and you've made it yummy, right? Because that's what you're going to eat. You know it's going to be yummy. So your brain's thinking about it all day. How many people are talking about what they're having for dinner and it's only like middle of the morning? So many people. So if we take, you know, the times when you don't think about food, or when you're really busy and doing something or do something fun. But when you're really busy, when you're really focused on a task, when you're involved in something, and you go, oh shit, 6 o'clock, I haven't eaten today, and I wasn't hungry and I didn't go to the fridge one time because you had your attention on other things. So change your focus. Do forget about dieting, forget about the food, and start focusing on what it is that you want to do in life. But those goals and dreams, those unfulfilled ambitions that you have, or maybe it's just to relax more and enjoy yourself. But change your language is also vitally important, because we need to say it the way we want it and not the way that we don't want it. So the example for that is when I say don't forget your keys, the mental image that you get is you forgetting your keys. But if I say remember to pick up your keys on the way out, you get a mental image of you picking up the keys on the way out. So don't say gosh, hope I don't eat that. Hope I can resist those chocolates as I walk through the supermarket. Hope I can resist those chocolates. I don't want those chocolates. That's not helping, because all you're doing is thinking about chocolate. But what you could be saying is, well, I just say, there's chocolate there, I don't need it. That's all, you know, like chocolate's there, it's okay. There's plenty of it, there's no shortage, I can have it tomorrow, whatever. But equally said is to just walk in and say, I'm really confident, I'm disinterested in chocolate. Because what's the opposite of the wanting and the temptation is disinterest. It's not that you need to hate it, it's not that you need to do any of that stuff, it's just to be, there's chocolate. You know, it's like looking at a beautiful flower. You admire it and you think, oh, that's gorgeous, but you don't want to eat it. Think about chocolate like that. Oh, looks fabulous. Look at that. Oh, I don't want to eat that shit. That's going to make my body hurt, you know? Change your focus, change your words. Number 5 is increase physical, can't spell, there's a C in there, relaxation. Relaxation. You want to increase physical relaxation, because all those things that I spoke about earlier, the pinching bras, the foods that we eat, the sore feet shoved into shoes that aren't comfortable to wear all day, sitting all day at a desk, standing up all day at a standing up job, working in a hot place, working in a cold place, getting stuck in, well, you don't get stuck in traffic at the moment. I've never seen so much room on a road. But all those things, they all cause physical tension. Medications, not enough sleep, stiffness. It's another reason you need to keep your body flexible to release that stiffness from your body, because we have so much mental, emotional, physical tension in throughout a day. Tension is like, think of it like a pressure cooker, you know, and you just got to release that tension throughout the day. Let that tension out, let that tension out. So most people think about physical relaxation, doing their yoga every morning, doing it once a week, meditation however long, once a week, once a day. That's great, keep it up. But physical relaxation in this context is about what can you do throughout the day to release that tension throughout the day, so you don't end up with a build-up that comes out at night and you sit down and you end up night grazing. Physical tension throughout the day needs to be released. We've talked about in other videos. Breathing is a great way to do it. Just stretch a bit throughout the day. It's easy to stretch. I've already done it a few times. I'm going to do it again. Watch me disappear. Hang upside down like that for a few minutes. Get some blood to your brain. Stretch those hamstrings. That's a little bit of relief. I'll tell you one of the other little ones that nobody ever does, but is so easy. You know, morning stares, where you go, you got your coffee, then you're just kind of staring through whoever's there or whatever's there, just the morning stares. Do that. You can do that on purpose with intention. You can purposely just sit and go into a morning stare. It's like putting your brain in neutral. Whatever chatter's going on upstairs, it turns into silent running. Just give your mind a moment to relax, and that'll give your body a moment to relax. So increased physical relaxation will help with the flexibility of your body, with the flexibility of your thoughts, with the flexibility of your emotions, and the flexibility of your behavior. Because that behavior that we spoke about at the very beginning, put your hand up if you've ever had an urge you couldn't resist, or you had a fight with yourself and you lost, that's because there's so much damn tension in your body. It's just going, I've got to release it, and I've got to release it now, and it's pushing you to a known behavior that will work, which is usually something in your mouth. Number 6. Ooh, let's do blue. Number 6 is increase fun and playfulness. Increase fun and playfulness. This is absolutely positively vital, because one of the reasons that we're using food as entertainment, because we don't have enough fun and playfulness in our life. We are not fun and playful. We're waiting for other people perhaps, but fun and playfulness comes from within, comes from inside you. And you're the one who needs to tap into that silly side of you, tap into that side of you that isn't focused on stress. Because that's what I was saying earlier about, you know, it's how we generate our own stress and then we keep it going. We can cut stress short the minute playfulness comes in, the minute we tap into something fun inside ourselves, because fun and playfulness is the antidote to stress. You can't be doing something fun and playful or having a fun and playful thought and be stressed at the same time. It just doesn't happen. You can't do both. I had on the weekend an incident with my Katie. I do Katie gym. And I had a Katie gym home gym incident where my kettlebell, which has all these weights in it, 5 weights that you can adjust, and a locking mechanism. I've had it for years. Their locking mechanism has never come undone. But on Saturday, somehow the locking mechanism came undone. So as I finished doing my move, which is around my head, and I came around and went to walk outside, all the weights fell out onto my foot. Now, I have a toe that looks, I don't know what colour it is. It's not black or blue. It's a colour I've never seen before. But in that moment, that eyes out on stalks moment, as I think it's about 15 kilos of weight hit my foot, I took a moment before I started running off with all the horrible things that could mean, because I could see what happened to my toe. And before that went into, oh my God, it's going to be broken, wow, what's going to happen? I just went straight into, first of all, salvage mode. It's fine, I'm very fine, it's going to be okay, it's wonderful, it's wonderful. And then about 2 seconds later, I went into the playful thing, which is my favourite thing to do when I make a boo-boo, is laugh and go, that wasn't what I was expecting to happen, you know, that wasn't it. And to laugh and find fun and playfulness in that moment was intentional and purposeful, and broke through me getting into a stressed place. I kept it going. That's all there is to it. It's just to find a fun and playfulness throughout your day. It's like the physical relaxation. You've got to do little pockets of it. Don't do one big thing. Do little pockets. Remember the other week I talked about the little pockets of happiness? That's what you need. Little pockets of happiness. Little pockets of fun. Little pockets of relaxation. And number 7, because I'm sure we're running out of time. Number 7 is increase success strategies. What do you need success strategies for? Everything. Absolutely everything. And all this funnels back up into your plan. Because remember we talked about routines, structures and schedules. They're all sort of part of a plan, you know, things all spiral out. They're not individual things. This is a collective picture. So what we talked about the other day were the routines and structures and schedules. We also talked about increasing your success strategies. When you increase your success strategies, which you need, success strategies are things that says, right, I know I have a knowledge gap here. I know I have a behavior, which you've marked off in your plan. I have a behavior that I come home and night graze. What's a success strategy I can implement to intervene that? And intervene that, you need to start thinking about what's happening at 9 o'clock in the morning, because the stress is building through the day and getting you to the nighttime grazing, right? It's not just happening at the end. Success strategies, that's that snakes and ladders thing. Are you going up the ladder or down the ladder? If you've got success strategies, you're going up the ladder. If you haven't, you're going down. If you've got the poor coping skills, you're going down. If you've got good coping skills, you're going up. So, success strategies. How can I build my flexibility? How can I swagger through my day and keep my body and my back supple? How can I, a success strategy to help me change my focus? A success strategy to increase my physical relaxation. What's a success strategy that I can have that will help me implement fun and playfulness into my day? Now, there's a lot, right? It seems like a lot, but it's just the 7 steps to personal health leadership. That's all it is. It's just 7 simple steps. There's a lot of things in there, but they're actually very simple steps. Because, you know, in times of crisis, hope, we don't want hope. Hope is not a strategy. What you need is leadership, and you actually need to be able to lead yourself, because you're the only one you've got. We can't rely on other people to lead us. It's great if they're there and they're doing it, but you're the one who's right there with you in any given moment. So you need to know how to do it, how to lead yourself, and how to take care of yourself. I actually do have a little giveaway today, because I put the 7 steps, little ebook. I put the 7 steps to personal health leadership into a booklet for you, because there is a lot and there's way more in the book to help you do it. Okay, so it's a really it's a full color. I've made it really lovely for you. It's full color booklet. It's got everything in there that you need, including pages at the back to write on. It's absolutely got everything that you need to know about what to do and how to do it. It tells you what the first step is. It tells you how to brainstorm it. It tells you what the benefits are. It gives you all the framework that you need. It tells you how to brainstorm. It tells you how to map it out. If you want that, I think we've put a link in the comment section with this live. It's just on my website though, so if you want to go to the website katiegordon.me, there's that free download for you. It's a really good booklet, absolutely everything you need, absolutely free, so please do go and grab a copy of that for yourself. And and start mapping out your 7 steps for your personal health leadership, right? Because you've been on the yo-yo weight loss, weight gain cycle long enough. Okay, it's time to get off now. It's time to take care of you, and it's time to know that you actually do have all those resources inside of you to be able to do that. Absolutely 100%. So please do go and get yourself a copy of that lovely ebook. It's very pretty, isn't it? We want to be her. She's sitting on the ledge having a very good time. I do want to be her. We're not allowed out travel at the moment, but that's on my list. I'm not even sure where it is. But please do go and grab yourself a copy. If you've enjoyed today's video, please do share it with somebody else and pass on the information so that more people can break free. Do keep an eye out for the Dietless Living Word of the Day posts. I've got great words for you, A to Z of all these fantastic words to just remind you of who you are as you take yourself through this crisis or any other crisis in life. So please do keep an eye out for that. Please share the video with whoever you can just to pass on the love, and do go grab yourself a copy of the 7 steps to personal health leadership. I will see you again this afternoon at 4:30. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate that you take the time to come and watch and find out new information for yourself, because it is so critical for all of us to be constantly looking for the information that we need so that we can have the breakthrough and the break free of the cycles that are keeping us stuck. Thank you very much for having the time with me this afternoon. I'll see you again at 4:30. Bye for now. Love to love. Bye.